Hello, and welcome to Coffee Talk with immigration attorney Brian D. Lerner. In this particular episode, I'd like to talk about the executive orders, not specifically what President Biden has done, but procedurally, because I'm getting so many emails and requests for consults for information on the new immigration law, information on the amnesty, information on how all of this is going to work. So I just wanted to discuss a little bit about the difference between executive orders and the difference between Congress passing laws. Now, the executive orders, while powerful, they do not pass new laws. And as President Biden has already stated, when he does his immigration executive orders, it's not to make new laws, it's to basically reverse bad policy which Trump did during the Trump era. You know, putting the kids in cages, separating families at the border, making people wait for asylum in Mexico, deporting everybody under the sun without fair due process. So all of those have been reversed. Okay, and already on one of them there's been a court order against it, one where President Biden ordered all deportations basically to stop for the next 100 days so they could determine the fairness of it, and a federal judge ruled against that. But in any event, he, in his executive orders, in a couple of them, he has stated what he wanted. So like, for example, for DACA, and again, Trump tried up and down to get rid of DACA, and he couldn't do it. The courts fought him and ruled against him, and ultimately he couldn't do it, but he still made it more difficult. Well, now President Biden has made it easier to stay on DACA, to apply for DACA, and so forth. But the bottom line is that he also issued some statements of what he would like to see Congress do in order to actually make a path for residency and ultimately citizenship for the DACA recipients. Now, that's got a long way to go. That's why when people email me and want consults on what they need to do with DACA to become a citizen, it's not law yet. And you can see the fierce debates in Congress, especially on immigration. Unfortunately, Trump made attacking immigrants his signature policy, which maybe that's why he's out of office now. But there's going to need to be bipartisan agreement and approach about the deportations and the DACAs and so forth. And so in this particular case, when it goes to Congress, there's obviously going to be the people on one side, the Republicans, that say, well, this is amnesty. We're not going to benefit people who have been here illegally and violated the immigration law. And then there's the people on the other side saying, well, you have the DACA. You also have people who are 11 million people who are here illegally but contributing to society. So, it's been years since there's been a comprehensive immigration reform. In fact, the last time, and I remember this, it was 1996. That's when IRA passed, and there was some good stuff in there. There was a lot of bad stuff in there, and there was years and years of litigation on tons of stuff in there. So we'll see how that happens. Now, Biden has also stated that he would like to get rid of the 3 to 10 year bar. That's when people are here unlawfully and they leave after a certain period of time, and they're barred from coming in for 3 years, or they're barred from coming in for 10 years, and then there's waivers. And I can tell you, since I've lived, and litigated through all of it, there's been so many lawsuits on what the 3 to 10 year bar means. It would be very nice if ultimately they got rid of the 3 to 10 year bar. But we'll see what will happen. So don't confuse the executive orders which change policy with the immigration laws, which has to go through Congress, which an executive order cannot do. And the reality is there's a gray line of what authority exists on an executive order and when it goes too far and it needs to go through Congress, and there's lots of lawsuits on various executive orders. You saw with Trump, pretty much every executive order he did was fought, and very many of them were struck down. But also there's the ban, the Muslim ban and so forth. Biden got rid of that. So on a good note, with a stroke of the pen, or a stroke of about 30 or 40 pens, because he uses a different pen for each executive order, he was able to reverse the vast majority of Trump's anti-immigration rhetoric and policies. As a matter of fact, that wall that Trump was talking about from the very first day he went on television until when he left, that stopped. Just boom, stopped. Executive order. So that's nice. So at any rate, if you like the video, click like, subscribe, and more on the coming weeks. You can also send me your questions. I'll respond to you. Okay, thank you.